Would you invest in a company where the CEO literally just ate his hat? Today I'm going to go over this company, what they do, why you should be excited, and most importantly, why he ate his hat. So this company is called Rocket Lab, and they are actually going public through a SPAC merger with Vector Acquisition. Vector's SPAC currently trades under the ticker VACQ, which will change to RKLB once the merger is complete. So I've talked a little bit about low Earth orbit and space-oriented companies on this channel like Virgin Galactic, Momentous, and more recently Black Sky, all of which are great companies, and I think Rocket Lab is no exception. So Rocket Lab is a spaceflight company led by the CEO Peter Beck that was founded in 2006 in New Zealand and is currently based in Long Beach, California. So one of their rockets is named the Electron Rocket, which was a small lift orbital launch vehicle intended to launch payloads with small satellites up into orbit. The company has launched 97 satellites on 18 Electron missions to date. Its Electron rockets are priced at about $7 million per launch, standing at about 60 feet tall, and are capable of lifting as much as 300 kilograms to low Earth orbit. So this rocket actually defined a lot of firsts for the space industry. One being, it was the first carbon fiber rocket to actually go into orbit, as well as the first 3D printed rocket engine to make it into orbit as well. So back before the SPAC merger was announced and Rocket Lab was a younger company, the CEO Peter Beck claimed that his company was only intended to take payloads into space, and that Rocket Lab would never aspire to take humans up. He was so confident in his claim that he said if Rocket Lab was to ever start building rockets to launch humans up into space, he would eat his own hat. And thus, here we are today. The Neutron Rocket was born. In a Rocket Lab video released yesterday, Peter Beck teased the design of their newer and bigger rocket, the Neutron Rocket. And yes, you guessed it, it will be taking humans into space. And because he is a man of his word, he ate his hat. If you're interested in watching this actual video, I'll have a link in the description that you can check out. But yeah, back to this Neutron rocket. It's a semi-reusable rocket intended for human spaceflight that will be launching sometime in 2024, which is awesome, but then again, it leads me to one question that I actually have. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like their newer Neutron rocket is intended to compete with SpaceX's Falcon 9 rocket, which is also a semi-reusable rocket in the same ways. However, by 2022, Elon is intending to launch his largest rocket yet, Starship, which can hold up to 100 people and is 100% reusable. So by the time 2024 rolls around, Falcon 9 might already be obsolete compared to the Starship, which means that Rocket Lab's Neutron rocket will be competing with a rocket that is no longer in its prime. So that's just something to think about. The Neutron rocket will stand at 131 feet tall and is capable of carrying as much as 8,000 kilograms to low Earth orbit and will cost around $200 million to develop. Now, regardless of how you look at this situation, I think you gotta respect Peter Beck for deciding to not only compete with Elon, but for eating his own hat as well. So let's get into the revenue. Rocket Lab's launch business booked revenues of $13.5 million in 2018, $48 million in 2019, and an estimated $33 million in 2020. And despite taking a hit last year in revenue, Rocket Lab expects launch revenue growth to rebound this year and steadily climb to $915 million by 2027, which means that this could easily be a billion-dollar company before 2030 rolls around. Rocket Lab's investor presentation says it has a current active pipeline of $2.2 billion in opportunities for its launch, spacecraft systems, and space components business, which, as I've mentioned with a lot of these SPAC investor presentations, can seem a bit rosy when compared to the actual numbers that they'll actually be pulling in the future. And of course, Rocket Lab still faces more competition from not just Elon. The Electron Rocket has competitors from Astra to Virgin Orbit, while the Neutron Rocket will face off with the medium-lift rockets being developed by Firefly Aerospace, ABL Space, and more. But regardless, if you're interested in all these newer space companies going public, I think this one is definitely worth checking out. While they still have a lot of competition, it seems like they're continuously innovating, focusing on reusable rockets, which of course is a huge plus. And they have a really awesome and charismatic CEO. All the makings for a great space company. Thanks for listening, everyone, and until next time.